Hey guys, and welcome to how I made these candle holders and flower displays. So this is going to be the first part of 3, just because otherwise it's going to end up being too long. So the first thing I used was 8 of the 4 inches by 6 inches frames. You get 2 in a pack from Poundland. So I just picked these up because they were super cheap and I wanted them in gold. So there's 8 of them, which is 4 packs of 2. And then I got 4 of the 8 inches by 10 inches photo frames, and these are £1 each, again from Poundland, exactly the same colour as the small ones. You will need 4 frames for each of the candle holders, so depending on how many you make, it depends on how many you need. And then I was going to use the 6mm adhesive gems and the 3mm adhesive gems, but in the end I only used the 6mm. I decided not to use the 3mm in the end. I didn't want to use them, but when I started filming I had a plan to use them. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the backs off the frame and take the paper out, so we're just left with the glass and the outside of the frame. I would say keep the backs of the frames because I always keep everything. You never know when it's going to come in handy, and I am going to use some of them probably in another craft at some point. So I'm just going to take the glass out, and then I'm going to push the bits that you fasten the frame in with just to the back of the frame. I'm using tweezers to do it just so they're out of the way, and then they're flat so you can't see them from the front of the frames. You'll also need a glue gun, some tweezers, a pair of scissors, and some foliage of your choice for the rest of this craft. So I'm going to do that on all the frames in a bit, but first I'm going to actually stick the glass into the frame, and I'm just putting a bit of glue in each of the corners of the frame, and then I'm just going to push the glass into the glue so it sticks into place. Don't worry if the glue comes out of the front or the back, it's easily, you can just peel it off or pull it off with the tweezers. So it's not too bad if you do have a bit of glue just poking out of the front. So I'm going to do that with all the small frames, and I'm going to do it with the big frames as well. But with the larger frames, I'm actually going to add glue in between the large sections of the frame as well, just to make sure that it's held in place. And again, just put a decent amount of glue. If it comes out the front, don't worry about it, just pull it off. And then just add the glass. And when you're pushing on the glass, make sure you only push it on the edges, don't push it in the middle, otherwise you probably end up smashing the glass. So, and I just use the tweezers just to help push it into place. Like so. And then for the next part, this is where I decided to add the gems. Again, at this point, I was still thinking of using the 2 sizes, but in the end, I only ended up using the larger ones. And all I've done is I've cut the pattern that I want to put onto the glass. I've cut it out on the strip that it's attached to, and I'm not actually going to stick them on with the backing. I'm actually going to take them out individually, and the pattern that I used was 1 2 3 2 1, and I just repeated that pattern. And then I was going to add the smaller ones, 4 of each of the smaller ones above, but I didn't like it, so I just used the bigger ones. And I did end up sticking each individual gem to the glass using the hot glue and a pair of tweezers. It's totally up to you if you want to leave the clear black back plastic on the back of it, or if you want to take the gems off and stick them on yourself. You will need to use glue to stick them on. If you just use the self-adhesive on the back, they won't stay on the glass, and when you turn the frame over, they will fall off, so you will need to glue them on somehow. So now I'm just going to actually make the candle holders, and I want the front of the frame to be over the edge of the other frame. And just to let you know, I only put the gems on the front frame of each of the candle holders. I was going to put them on the sides as well, but you could see the silver and the glue through the glass, so I didn't want to see that, so I just ended up putting it on the front. And then all I'm doing is putting a decent amount of glue on the back of the frame, and then I'm going to push the other frame into place. You want to try and make sure that you don't put the glue at the edge that you're going to be able to see, just so, because otherwise glue will come out, and it just makes life a lot easier if you don't have to pull it all out. So I put it at the back of the edge. And then you just want to push that into place until it's nice and secure. And I'm just using the tweezers to scrape off any glue that has been pushed out of the edge. And then I'm going to do exactly the same to the other side. So while I'm doing that, I'd like to say, if you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video. I make craft videos and haul videos, which is mainly stuff to do with crafting. If you're returning, it's great to see you again. I'm so glad that you've come back, and I hope you're well and enjoying your day. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed and you like the video, please subscribe. And if you leave a comment, I'll always reply. And like I said, this is going to be the first part of 3 videos. So if you don't want to miss any of the other parts, if you subscribe, you should get a notification to say when the other parts will be out. So again, I'm just holding it into place. And letting it dry. And then I'm going to add the top frame or the back frame. And again, just using a decent amount of glue. And then I'm just going to pop that into place. Again, when you do push it down, just use the edges of the frame. And then that's the base of the candle holder. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the other 4 small frames and the 4 larger frames as well. So now that I have done all of the 3 candle holders, I've got 2 small ones and 1 large one. I'm now going to start to add some foliage around the top of the frame. I'm going to start off with the light green, and then I'm going to add some darker leaves, and then I'm going to add a couple of white small roses that I have, and I'm also going to add some white blossoms. And I'm just going to glue them around the tops of the frames until I'm happy with how it looks. So I'll show you a side view of when I've put the first layer of green foliage on. And then, like I said, I'm just going to add the dark foliage and then the flowers. And you can do this in any way that you want, as long as you're happy with how it turns out. And I'll show you where I'm up to once I've added the top bit of the foliage. I've still got more to add, but this is where I'm going to stop for now and then pick it back up on Wednesday when the second part of the video comes out. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, there's still a lot more that I'm going to do to these. They're nowhere near finished, but I just wanted to share the progress of the project up to now. So have a good day and thank you for watching, and I will see you on Wednesday for part 2. Take care. Bye bye.